Hello, everybody. Welcome to TPG's World. It's me, TPG. It is the 23rd of June, 2022. And I gotta sit here for a minute, guys. I just witnessed something really undescribable, and I have to kind of sit here for a minute and talk about it and give you guys a rundown. Now, let me explain what happened. So, I'm sorry, first of all, that I look a mess, but I really, literally rushed out to take part in this event. So, I just got back from seeing the new Elvis movie. Elvis, Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. Y'all, I need a minute. Like, I'm still like basking in this movie. Now, there were some good things and some bad things that I liked about it. I'm going to discuss both, but I'm going to tell you that this movie was unbelievable. Like, I have seen, as you guys know, I love movies. I love biopics especially, and even though I'm not a big fan of the person, I still like to learn a little bit about them. That's how I became such a big Elton John fan, as I knew his music, but when I went and saw his story, Rocket Man, I was like, oh my god. Well, you know, Elvis has a special place in my life because my mother was a huge Elvis fan. She loved Elvis Presley. She loved his music. So I grew up on his music. I seen his concerts, you know, on television. I'll never forget the day he died. I'll talk about that probably in this video or another video. But, you know, so Elvis, I knew of Elvis. I knew songs by Elvis. I didn't personally listen to Elvis a whole lot, but I knew a lot about him. Now, I knew he could sing. The man could sing. And I knew women loved him. Well, and I knew my mama loved him, and all her friends loved him. Okay, so let's talk about this movie, guys. I'm telling you guys, it's hard to breathe. This movie was undeniably, short of phenomenal. Like, it was unbelievable. Like, Austin Butler, who portrays Elvis Presley, and I've seen all the Elvis movies. As I said, I grew up with my mom watching them all. I remember Kurt Russell playing Elvis. I remember the TV show. I remember all of these people that have played Elvis. I've seen them all. And let me tell you something. This guy was Elvis Presley. Like, he looked like Elvis. He sounded like Elvis. He moved like Elvis. And, you know, sometimes when you see a biopic, like Elton John in Rocket Man, he didn't look exactly like Elton, but he played the part so convincingly that you kind of forgot about that and you just began to believe that he was Elton John. Well, that's how this guy is. Like, first of all, he looks, especially the younger Elvis, he looks so much like Elvis Presley that it's scary. When he opens his mouth to sing, you're like, it's unreal how much it does. And as the movie progresses and it goes on, he continues to look more and more like Elvis, and they really did a great job. Tom Hanks, who plays Colonel Parker, is almost unrecognizable in the movie. If you didn't know that it was Tom Hanks, you would kind of freak out a little bit because you're like, who is this man? He looks so familiar. The performances of those two men were absolutely two of the best performances I've ever seen. I don't know who could win it. I kind of feel that Austin Butler's probably going to get a nomination for Best Actor.
And maybe Tom Hanks will get Best Supporting Actor, and they'll both be able to win an Oscar for it because it was undeniably, their performances were great. Now, of course, coming out in June, the Oscars are not until a while, so they may not even get remembered for it because by then it'll be out on DVD and maybe lost in the shuffle of the other films. But I pray not, because that boy, he deserves an Oscar nomination if nothing else. But he deserves to win in my book. But let me talk a little bit about the movie. Now, there was a couple of things that I did not like in the movie. First of all, in the movie, I'm not going to, you know, guys, when I review things, I don't do a lot of spoilers. So I don't believe in spoilers, because if you haven't seen this movie, I don't want to I don't want to ruin anything for people, because the worst thing in the world that I can do is have somebody ruin a movie for me. But in this movie, there's periodically a couple places in this film, especially where they insert rap music to show Elvis's love for black music and his roots and all that kind of stuff, and where he came from, and his love for that style of music. And I have no problem with the black music of that time period, but when they put in rap songs, like, I don't know, I think it was Cardi B or somebody, I don't know, and that part was really weird to me, because that kind of, to me, threw the movie off a little bit to me. I was like, why is there rap music in this movie? It makes absolutely no sense to the film, and it took away a little bit from the film to me. And that happened in like a couple of spots in the film early on, and I was like, that was just
I don't understand the logic behind it, and I do want to look that up and see like why the director felt that he needed to do that. Um, that was one of the things I didn't like. It was very long, but it went by very fast. Like it's one of the first movies I never got to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes because it was so beautifully colored. The color in it was beautiful. The acting was just wonderful. It really holds your attention, and you don't realize how long it is until it's over. But you're like, wow. I mean, it covered the right parts of Elvis's life. Oh, excuse me, guys. It's late here, and I'm just, like I said, I'm just still dreaming for this movie. It covers the right part of Elvis's life. You know, it covers from him being young, his relationship with his mama, him going to the army, you know, etc., etc., etc. There was the way they played his mama. The woman who played his mother, first of all, looked just like his mom. The way they played his mom, though, I have to look it up because I'm not sure that she was actually the way they portrayed her in this movie. You know, with or she drank and she cussed a lot. Enough. I don't know if that's how she was in real life. I haven't remember a lot of the movies in the past to know if that's the truth, or done a lot of research on Elvis in the past to know if that's true. But everyone, I mean, the woman who played his mother looked just like his mom. The woman that played his wife, Priscilla Presley, oh my God, she was stunning. She was as beautiful as Priscilla, just as beautiful. I mean, you know, it was just, the love that they had for each other was unreal. It was just beautiful, and she did a great job. I mean, I don't think there was a weak performance in the entire movie, but I really have to say Austin Butler really, really stood out for me. Like, he had me in tears in parts of this movie. He had me like, at the end, I said to my friend that went with me, my friend Julie, I said, I want to just hug Elvis and tell him everything's going to be okay. You know, like it was so heart-wrenching to watch how people took this man's life and basically controlled it, and he had no say-so pretty much. He believed in one person, and this one person, like, was the end-all be-all, and this person just had their own intentions in mind, and there's so many choices, especially when you start seeing Elvis get on the drugs and things like that, that they weren't concerned about Elvis. And I feel like Elvis had a lot of people in his life that didn't care, that they wanted the money and they lived off of his money. And I think that even his father in the end got kind of like that. So it was very sad in that aspect. To know his life was that way and to see it played out like that on the screen. And this was like the first. Like I said, I've seen all the Elvis movies growing up. I don't remember a lot of them, but I have seen them. I remember the TV show that came on a couple years ago, and I think there's been like 2 or 3 Elvis movies. I know one was Kurt Russell. I remember that one. I think Don Johnson may have played him in one. I'm not sure the different ones, but there's been several movies about him. And I know the TV show. I can't think of the guy's name. And then there was that Sun Records that came out that had Elvis in it a while back. So there's been a lot of Elvises and stuff like that. But this, I think, is by far. I wish my mom was still here. Right now, I wish that she would not have passed in 2017, because I think my mother would have absolutely loved this film. Like, I think she would have been, except for the rap music, she would have thought the same thing about me. Like, why are they singing rap in this? But it was so. My mother would have just cried. Like, she would have been in awe. Like, it had all of the right songs. They chose the right songs for it. They chose the right music. It was so. Oh my gosh, I can't, guys, I can't. And I try to find good. I don't. Oh my gosh, my friend and I both said we love Tom Hanks, and I do. Tom Hanks is one of my favorite actors in the world, but I hate him in this movie. Like, I absolutely hated him. Like, you want to write him a letter and be like, I hate you, Tom Hanks. Why did you do this role? Because he's so mean and so horrible. The character that he portrays is so mean and so horrible. You're like, God, this character's horrible. Like, why do I want to be around this person? Like, it's horrible. So, but it was, guys, do yourself a favor. Go see this movie. Even if you're not a huge Elvis fan, just go strictly for the performances and I think that's why my hair is like this, because I kept going, oh my God, this movie's so good. Go see it for the performances. Go see it for the music. Go see it just for the general consensus of this movie. I think if you're not an Elvis fan, you probably will be when it's over. Like, oh my God, you guys, I don't think I've ever had a film in a long time leave me just awestruck the way I am. I'm literally like, oh my God, this film was phenomenal. I give it a 10 out of 20. I give it a 20 out of 10. I mean, it's one of my. I can't wait for the DVD. I'm gonna definitely go back in probably in a week or so, maybe in a couple of days, and see it with some more friends of mine, because I really want to see it. It did not disappoint me. When it first started, I thought, oh gosh, So here lately, every movie I've been hyped up to see, I get there and I'm like, oh, okay. Like the Aretha Franklin movie, I was like, okay, I could have waited for this to come on TV. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. I was a little disappointed. This did not disappoint me, guys. Honestly, I swear to God, it did not disappoint it. So I want you to know that you definitely need to see this movie, know everything about this movie, and do yourself a favor. Go see it. Don't wait for the DVD. Don't wait for it. Go see it in the theaters. Just go and be. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm telling you, just go see it. If you have to wait for the DVD, that's great too, but don't miss. This is one movie in your lifetime you want to see. You will feel it. This boy, when he's crying, and when Elvis's mom passes, he's crying, and just the way this boy portrays it, being someone whose mom had died, I literally was weeping. I felt so sorry for Elvis, but not just for Elvis, but for the guy that played him. The way he was so believable, and I'm not telling you stuff that you don't know. Everybody knows Elvis's mom died. Everyone knows that him and Priscilla got divorced. In that scene where she leaves him and he's crying, you're like your heart is ripping out because you feel so bad about both of them, and it leaves me all up in my feels, guys. It left me at my feels. I wasn't expecting it to be that way. So go check out the new Elvis movie. It is in theaters. I saw a sneak preview tonight on Thursday. It actually opens in reality tomorrow. Get your tickets, go see it. Leave it in the comments below if you like the movie. I want to hear your opinion of it. Alright, guys, I love you. Love you. Thank you for watching my review. If you want me to do more reviews, let me know. Love you guys. Bye.